Dying Light 2 expanded the vertical playground to a scale the original could not support. The city of Villador is designed from the ground up around human-powered traversal. Every rooftop gap, every ledge, every zipline exists to keep you moving forward without touching the ground. The night parkour is where this game separates itself completely. Volatiles below you, UV stations ahead, the city dark except for what you are sprinting toward. That combination of movement freedom and mortal urgency belongs exclusively to this game. Speed is the identity here. Not fast for a parkour game, fast in an absolute sense. Wall running, dashing, grappling, and sword striking flow into each other at a pace that requires muscle memory built entirely through dying and immediately trying again. The motorcycle levels took the momentum philosophy and applied it to vehicle navigation through neon highways. It should not work. It works completely. Egypt forced a parkour redesign from scratch. Pyramid faces, desert cliffs, and dense city markets all needed to work under the same traversal system, and Bayek moves like someone making real decisions about handholds rather than playing a climbing animation. The micro-animations during a clean, uninterrupted pyramid climb are some of the most detailed traversal animations in any open-world game released after 2016. The surface actually matters to how he moves. Faith does not sprint and jump. She builds momentum through chained movements, and the jump at the end of a proper chain covers significantly more distance than a standing jump from the same spot. Learning to read the environment for momentum opportunities rather than just routes is the entire skill gap in this game, and most players never fully close it. The mag rope integrates with momentum rather than replacing it. You swing and release at the apex for height. Everything in this game feeds the same momentum philosophy without exception. Miles swings like himself. The Venom-powered momentum bursts mid-swing extend the arc, increase speed, and play animations so fluid they look hand-drawn in motion. Chaining them through Manhattan builds velocity that makes the city feel enormous and conquerable at the same time. The trick system rewards style with faster momentum. The game literally pays you in speed for swinging beautifully, and that feedback loop is more addictive than most full gameplay systems in other games. Hook, launch upward, deploy cape, build speed, hook again before losing altitude, boost again. Once that rhythm is in your hands, Gotham becomes a city you cross in straight lines. The traversal rewards spatial reading, and the reward is pure momentum that never gets old. The grapnel is also a combat tool. Closing 20 meters on an armed enemy in under a second by hooking directly to them completely changes how every encounter reads spatially. No cooldown, no resource cost, no animation delay that matters. Point at a valid surface and you are there. That immediacy turns every encounter from a flat engagement into a three-dimensional spatial problem worth solving. The Ashina Castle rooftop sequence chains the grapple through a burning fortress at night with enemies on every platform. The route is yours to find. The tools are in your hands. The game just points at the objective and waits. Wall running here requires commitment. You cannot test a surface and pull back. You go and momentum carries you, or you stop. And rebuilding from a standstill in a game this fast is a disadvantage you feel immediately, every single time. Effect and cause is the level. Time shifting combined with wall running. Multiple developers across the industry have publicly called it the benchmark they were trying to reach. Most have not reached it. Jesse levitates, and Remedy built the oldest house specifically for a player who stops treating the ground as the primary navigation layer. Catwalks, collapsed floors, ceiling structures all become traversal routes the moment gravity becomes optional and movement opens up completely. The Ashtray Maze combines the traversal system with the best track on the soundtrack. It has no comparison in any game from the same year. None. The game punishes touching the ground. Running on flat surfaces is slower and weaker than staying in motion across elevated traversal routes. That single design decision makes the entire city a vertical playground where the ground is not a destination. It is a failure state you actively avoid. Some weapons are specifically designed to be used mid-grind. The enemies are positioned to make stopping worse than staying in motion and attacking from traversal paths. The dimensional claw marks a point in space and teleports you back to it. Your past position becomes a resource you can spend mid-traversal. That single ability turns the parkour language into a three-dimensional puzzle that no other 2D platformer released after 2016 seriously attempts. The time trial rooms push the combined movement system to a ceiling that speedrunners are still actively mapping, with new discoveries appearing regularly. Origami 2 builds its entire traversal identity around shadow teleportation, and the result is parkour that feels completely unlike anything else on this list. You do not run to a surface. You vanish from one point and appear at another. Chaining teleports through enemy territory with a rhythm that rewards patience and punishes hesitation equally. The Shadow Essence system ties your teleportation resource to staying in darkness. Move through light too long and your best traversal tools drain away completely. The darkness is not just cover, it is fuel. And learning to plan routes around shadow availability rather than direct geometry is the skill gap this game is built entirely around. Web wings added to the existing swing system. The combination covers New York faster and more expressively than either previous game managed. Swinging transitions into gliding, transitions back into swinging based on altitude, speed, and district geometry, seamlessly and without ever forcing a transition unnaturally. The expanded map was designed specifically around these new movement capabilities. The city and the traversal system were built for each other at the same time, and it shows. Staying above the street in Haran is not just faster, it is survivable. The infected below make rooftop traversal a genuine strategic choice every single time you consider dropping down to street level. Night parkour and Dying Light remains the single best combination of traversal freedom and survival horror atmosphere in this entire generation. Volatiles below, darkness around you, a safe house 3 rooftops away. That specific feeling belongs entirely to this game and nothing else. Delsin absorbs powers, and each one completely changes the physical rules of how he moves through Seattle. Smoke launches you from any vent in the city. Neon gives you a sprint so fast, the entire map crosses in under 2 minutes. Video lets you travel through electronic signals and emerge from any screen. 4 power sets, 4 completely different traversal languages inside one open world. Seattle at night with neon power active, the trail behind you, the city reflecting it, the speed making buildings blur. Players who experienced it still describe that specific feeling in detail years later. And the final traversal sequence before the ending uses the movement system to say something the cutscene alone never could.